Hey everybody, it's MLB11XNC22 coming to with my latest version of my Orichalcos deck profile for August 25th, 2014. I'm not gonna waste you guys' time, so let's get started. Alright, first up I am running one Shaman and one Sorcerer. I only run one of them now. Their abilities have changed quite a bit. I'm going to first start off with Shaman. Once per turn, while I control an Orichalcos field spell, I can discard one card from my hand, special from one level 4 or lower Orichalcos monster from my hand or deck. Once per turn, I can shuffle up to 3 cards in my graveyard back into my deck, then draw one card. Once per turn, I can change this card's level from 1 to 8, and I can only control one Orichalcos Shaman on the field. I limit him both and Sorcerer down to 1 to make the deck fair for my opponent. Next is Orichalcos Sorcerer. When this card is special summoned by the effect of a level 4 or lower Orichalcos monster, while you control an Orichalcos field spell, you can special summon one level 4 or lower Orichalcos monster from your hand or deck. Once per turn, you can select one Synchro or one Xyz monster in your graveyard and return that card back into the extra deck. Once per turn, you can change this card's level from 1 to 8. After this card is used for a Synchro summon or Xyz summon, you can add one Orichalcos card from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can only control one Orichalcos Sorcerer on the field. Both of them, by the way, are 1500 attack and defense, dark level 4 spellcaster. So that's them. Next up, I'm running your main standard engine of this, the Tugitora, Shinros, Dexia, Restros, Divine Serpent. I don't need to go into details. You guys know what this is by now. One Doom Beetle. You know what this is. I'm only running one now just to save space. One Gygus. One Malevolence. But this one is a different ability. When it inflicts battle damage to my opponent has to discard one random card from my hand. That's an additional ability that this card has of its normal ability. I would like to take this time to thank you two Overkill for generously sending me this card to use in my Orichalcos deck. Thank you. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe to his videos and his channel. Thank you. One Orichalcos Gast. This is a new Orichalcos monster that I'm maining. He is a Wind level 4 Beast Warrior, 1,750 attack, 1,600 defense. When summoned, change one monster your opponent controls to defense position. When this card is destroyed, return one monster your opponent controls to the hand. You must control the Seal of Orichalcos to use this card's effects. It's pretty much like a pulse on legs. One Orichalcos Edicera. When this guy destroys an opponent's monster, when this card, the thing is, when he inflicts that, each time he inflicts battle damage to my opponent, I get to draw a card. Simple as that. And by the way, he's 1,600 attack, 1,500 defense, dark fiend type. I'm pretty sure you guys know who these are by now. I run the Gadget engine just to make the deck more fair for my opponent. One of me. This is a new card I'm making. Ricky the Fifth Swordsman. I am a dark level 4 fiend, 1,500 attack, 2,000 defense. Darkness spell and trap cards I control cannot be destroyed by card effects, including set cards. When this card is normal summoned, you can add one Darkness or one Orichalcos field spell card from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, you can target one Darkness or Orichalcos monster in your graveyard. Banish that target. This card gains the effect or effects of that target until the end phase. So I'm a very good card. Mewtwo Overkill made this for me, so once again, I thank you, buddy. You're a very good friend to me. Very good friend. Next up, I have Lord of Orichalcos Army. I only run one of them. I remember them. Orichalcos Reflector Bot. Pretty much, he is a 0 attack, 0 defense machine, dark level 2. And what he does is once per turn of my opponent's turn, if my opponent attacks one of my monsters, I can redirect the attack to any other monster on the field. It's attack guidance armor. One armed Orichalcos Dragon. How this little guy works is he's a dark level 7 dragon, 2800 attack, 1000 defense. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned by having 3 or more Orichalcos monsters in your graveyard, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. You can banish one Orichalcos monster from your graveyard to target one card in the field. Banish that target. It's really good, really good. Next, Orichalcos Knight. What he does is he's a light warrior, level 4, 1700 attack, 1400 defense. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, I can pay 500 life points to add one Orichalcos card from my graveyard to my hand. Really useful. Next up, my newest addition to my deck, Machina Dark Fortress. What he does is that he is a dark level 7 machine, 2500 attack, 1600 defense. I can discard exactly 2 dark monsters whose total levels equal 8 or more to special summon this card from my hand or graveyard. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, I select and destroy one face-up monster my opponent controls. Once per turn, when an effect monster's effect is activated during my opponent's main phase, I can special summon one level 4 dark monster from my hand. It's really useful, I want. Next up, my new tuner monster, Orichalcos Keeper. He is a dark level 4 rock tuner, 600 attack, 2200 defense. And what he does is my opponent cannot select another Orichalcos monster I control as an attack target. I can pay 500 life points to special summon this card from my hand or graveyard. While I control a face-up or Orichalcos field spell card, when this card is special summoned, I can special summon a level 4 or lower Orichalcos monster from my hand or deck. So it's really good. Next up, I run Triple Seal of Orichalcos. Pretty much, it's staple in the deck as this thing, because the thing is, people, it can negate spells, traps, monster effects. It can negate the summon of a monster and destroy it, and it can negate the attack of a monster and destroy it. AKA, as my friend Tyler, as from what Mewtwo Overkill told me, it negates any action at any time. That's pretty much how the Upper Deck Entertainment worded their seal. Next up, Dutros, Tritos, 2 Chosen Destinies, Orichalcos Eye. I only run 1 Orichalcos Stone now. I used to run 2, but I bumped it down to 1. I run Orichalcos Gateway. This used to be Gates of Darkness, but it's got a few. The thing is, I'm pretty sure you all know by now what its first effect is, but it's got another effect now. I can pay 500 life points to add 1 Orichalcos card from my deck or graveyard to my hand. And since it's an Orichalcos card now, I took that line of text where it's treated as a 1. So that's not needed. Dark Hole, rank up Magic Valtor's Force. Power Wave is back. But it's a little bit weaker than it used to be. I need Tritos in order to use it. So yeah. And I can only use it once per duel. Water of Life, Bounce, running this thing again. Used to be my Neo Orichalcos deck, but I run this in here now. Orichalcos Shield's back. Card of Demise. Orichalcos Viscia. Shout out the Mewtwo Overkill. Very good card. Called the Haunted, and this is a little Tekken I run. It's called Muko. This was used by Ashizu Ishtar from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. Pretty much what this little nifty little trap card does is I activate when my opponent draws a card from his or her deck or plays a card from his or her hand. That card is negated and sent to the graveyard. So this is a really good card. Really good card. So that's the Orichalcos deck. Now for the extra deck. I am running for first. I'm running Dark Fury X. I need to. The only way I can bring him out is by using the gadgets. And pretty much, he is a dark, rank 4, 2300 attack, 1500 defense, and he requires 2 level 4 dark machine type monsters. Once per turn, I can attach 1 seasonal from this card to add 1 Orichalcos card or 1 level 4 or lower dark machine type monster from my deck to my hand. When this card leaves the field, target 2 level 4 or lower dark monsters in your graveyard. Shuffle those targets into the deck. So it's really good. Next, I only run 2 Orichalcos dragons now because I think 3 is just a bit overpowering. I think about the opponent pretty much and how they feel about the deck. Number 200, Orichalcos Soul Leader. He's really good. He's a little bit more balanced than he used to be. He's a really good monster. Really good monster. What he does now is, this card can only be Xyz summoned by the effect of Rank Up Magic Valtor's Force. Once per turn, you can attach 1 Xyz material from this card to target one monster on your opponent's side of the field. Attach that target to this card as Xyz material. Xyz materials attached to that target also become Xyz materials on this monster. If this monster would be destroyed by your opponent's card, either a battle or by card effect, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card instead. He's 2500 attack, 1500 defense. He's really good. Really good. Next up, I run 1 Orichalcos Lancer. This is a new addition to the Orichalcos family. What he does is he's a dark, rank 4 warrior, 1000 attack, 1000 defense. He requires 2 level 4 Orichalcos monsters. This card gains 1000 attack and defense for each Xyz material attached to this card. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card. Select 1 Orichalcos monster in your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to that monster's attack until the end phase. So this thing can become a really heavy hitter. He's really good. Next up, I run Ancient Orichalcos Dragon and number 108 Orichalcum Dragon. Now what these two do is, I'll go to Ancient Orichalcos Dragon first. Here's the artwork, by the way. He is a dark, rank 5, 2400 attack, 3300 defense, 5 level 5 Orichalcos monsters. If this card has Orichalcos Dragon as an Xyz material, it gains this effect. You can detach all Xyz materials attached to this card, then add Orichalcos cards from your deck to your hand up to the number of Xyz materials attached. So it's really good. And as for Orichalcum Dragon, it wears 2 level 4 Orichalcos monsters. Once per turn during your player's turn, I can activate one of these effects. Effect number 1, I can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, add 1 Orichalcos monster from my deck or graveyard to my hand. And effect number 2, I can attach one Orichalcos Soldier monster from my hand or graveyard to this card. I don't have Orichalcos Soldier anymore. I took him out because he proved to be way too OP. I'm still running New Order's 8 Etheric Sebek. This is a good card because as soon as he is Xyz summoned, I get to add 1 spell trap card from my deck to my hand. And once per turn during your player's turn, I can detach an Xyz card from this card, and I'm able to activate a spell or trap card from my hand. So he's pretty much Machiavel Destructor, but more balanced. And by the way, he's got 3000 attack, 2000 defense. My Orichalcum Dragon has 2000 attack, 2500 defense, and he's a Dragon Dark rank 4. This is rank 8. And this guy has got 2400 attack, 3400 defense. If I didn't say him before, I'm reminding you. Next up, Chaos Exceeds Elder Orichalcos Dragon. Shout out to David Burnett and I was about to say MCO40. I mean Mewtwo Overkill, because they both have used this card in the past. And by the way, subscribe to David Burnett's channel. Check out his content. Thank you, buddy. What Chaos Exceeds Elder Orichalcos Dragon does is that he's a dark, rank 5 dragon, 3500 attack, 3200 defense. He requires 3 level 5 monsters. My opponent does not take any battle damage from battles involving this card. Once per turn, I can detach all Exceeds. Let me rephrase that, sorry. My opponent does not take battle damage from battles involving this card. Once per turn, you can detach all Exceeds materials from this card. Add Orichalcos cards from my deck or graveyard to my hand times the number of Exceeds materials I detached from this card. It can be really good. Next up, I'm running, this is my Chaos number C200, Orichalcos Dreadscythe. He is a level 6 Dark Undead, 2700 attack, 2000 defense. This card can only be Exceeds summoned by the effect of Ring Up Magic Valtor's Force. Once per turn, I can attach 1 Exceeds material from this card to target 1 monster on the field. Attach that target to this card as Exceeds material. Exceeds materials attached to that target also become Exceeds materials on this card. And he also gains 100 attack points for each monster attached to this card by this card's effect. If this monster would be destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, I can detach 1 Exceeds material from this card instead. He's got really good attack, really good defense. He's really good all around. Next up, one of my main monsters, Orichalcos number CI200, Orichalcos Dreadmaster. What he does is that he is a dark, rank 7, undead, 3500 attack, 3000 defense. This card can only be Exceeds summoned by the effect of Ring Up Magic Valtor's Force. Once per turn, on my turn, I can detach 1 Exceeds material from this card to inflict 300 points of damage to my opponent times the rank of this card. If this card would be destroyed by my opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, I can detach 1 Exceeds material from this card instead. So he's really good. He's not as though... The thing is, this is the first time you guys are seeing him. I was never able to fully get him out, fully show you guys him the last time. But he's good. Next up is my Synchro lineup, which is Orichalcos Hero. He is a dark, level 5 warrior, 2200 attack, 2000 defense. He requires 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. When this card is Synchro summoned, I can special summon one Orichalcos monster from my graveyard. Once per turn, while I control an Orichalcos field spell, I can pay 1,000 life points to draw 1 card. He's really good. Next up, Dark Dragoonity Knight Vajrayana. This is the first time you guys are seeing this little sucker. I used to have another monster in here called Orichalcos King, but he proved to be too OP for testing. So I took him out for this. And what this little guy does is that he's a dark Dragoonity Knight Vajrayana is a dark level 6, 1900 attack, 1200 defense, 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. When this card is Synchro summoned, you can target 1 level 3 or lower dark monster in your graveyard, equip that target to this card. Once per turn, you can send 1 equipped to this card to the graveyard. Add 1 Orichalcos or Dark Dragoonity card from your deck to your hand. So he's really good, he's really balanced, it's more searching for the deck. Next up, Orichalcos Hydra. This card was made by my good friend Jason Newborn. Shout out to you, brother. This guy is a water, level 8 Sea Serpent, 3000 attack, 2500 defense, 1 Orichalcos tuner monster plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower Orichalcos monster from your graveyard. This card gains 300 attack points and defense points for each Orichalcos monster I control. So he's really good. Next up, my final monster, Orichalcos Draco Pinna. Once again, shout out to you to Overkill. Awesome card. He is a win level 7. And he is a Wing Beast, 2300 attack, 400 defense, 1 Orichalcos tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. Must be special summoned by Synchro Summon and cannot be special summoned by other ways. If this card is Synchro Summoned while you control an face-up Orichalcos field spell, you can activate one of the following effects, based on what card zone this card is in. If it's in the monster card zone, it destroys all cards at both players' monster card zones. If it's in the spell and trap card zone, it destroys all cards in both players' spell and trap card zones. So I can either make this if I choose to, because it says you can activate one of the following effects. So I can choose to if I want to. So I can either make this a Dark Hole or a Heavy Storm. Simple as that. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed this little deck profile of my new Seal of Orichalcos deck. If you want to challenge me, if you want to take the Orichalcos challenge, or just challenge me in normal dueling, in normal casual play dueling with any of my other decks, feel free to add me on Skype. My Skype name is MLB11XNC22. Also, another thing is I will be doing 2 more deck profiles over the next few days. You will see the return of my Nightshroud deck and my Lightsworn deck. But I'll remind you guys one more time. If you guys want to add me on Skype, my Skype name is MLB11XNC22. Feel free to add me so we can duel, talk Yu-Gi-Oh, all sorts of stuff. But I'm guessing that's all the time I have, people. I pretty much done everything I need to do. So until we meet again, this is MLB11XNC22 saying, see you later.